So actually, in first slide, what I want to say. Nowadays, so many bombarding of webinars are happening, but still I cannot say no to Minaz, and so I'm presenting it here. This is a kind of journey so far in the field of architecture, and when I discussed with Minaz, she said, just let us know the overall journey in all respect, like how it happened and how you developed and what are your passions. And that is why the presentation is known as Works and Beyond. So it's a beautiful thing when a career and passion comes together. So architecture to me is a passion. So this is when I was kid, and this is summer vacation we used to spend with my brothers, cousins at my grandma's village. And though this dress is quite, we are dressed in a good manner probably because this is a kind of festival season. But this is how we enjoyed our childhood, and we are really privileged. I'm a really privileged child. Then I went to school, and this is in our time it was a matriculation, so all of our school friends were passed out. And this is in JJ. So JJ, this is we call it Katta, JJ Katta, and we used to sit more than at this place than class. This is a Solace in Desert. We had only 3 girls in our class, and she was the guest student from US, and we had a good relation in terms of friendship. Then we participated in the strikes and all the students' activity happening in the college. This was the fashion then. And dreams. With my friend, we went to Mount Mary festival, and then we took some funny pictures there. And we enjoyed college tours also. Actually, Mumbai offered a lot of opportunities to me to develop as a person in terms of music, theater, cinema, art, and culture, tradition, languages, different places, and religions from all around the world. Because we had students from Africa, Nepal, and all neighboring countries. And it gave me such a great exposure that it taught me so many things. Because otherwise I was from a small town place. That time Nasik was also very small and brought up in a vernacular medium. So I was quite confused at the beginning. But then later on, as everybody, Mumbai accommodates everybody accordingly, I was also accommodated. And then I was also part of the whole team. And then I tried to work at various places, but then due to my average marks, I could not get good jobs in good offices. So back to hometown, which I ultimately wanted to come back. And after coming back, I worked here for 3-4 months in one of the good offices in Nasik. And then some opportunities started coming through acquaintance, through friendships and relatives. Small jobs started, and I fall prey to that. And one of my brother's friend offered me office also in a small place. It's a hardly room 12 feet by 12 feet, and there I started my office. And that is how the journey started. So initially, when I passed out, there were very few works. So we used to document some places, and this is one of the places which we liked very much. This is a Wada. It's a big residence at Windsor. It's a few kilometers from Nasik. And then we stayed there, and that triggered a very good concept of, about the courts, use of courts in the house. So this was the basic concept where I started believing the functionality of the court. So this was my first experiment with a courtyard house. This was also one of my friend's house, and he believed in me, and that is how the work started. Then I got married. Then we went to honeymoon to South India, Mysore. And I was taking a lot of pictures, and my wife was so happy that I'm taking so many pictures of her. But then later on, she realized that these pictures, in the pictures, she was only as a scale. So then I had a very bad time after that. Then family grew, 2 daughters. And this is my family, I think, whose support was very important in my development overall life so far. And of course, my wife and 2 daughters. So this was my first job. For one of the first jobs, very early jobs, where a restoration project was there. So this client came to me and he wanted to construct a farmhouse. So this was his farmhouse. So many people suggested him to demolish the house and construct a new house. But then client, they both of them, husband and wife, were in UK, and they were aware of value of heritage, and they wanted to preserve this place because from inside the woodwork was quite all right. And I was the only person who supported their idea that time, and this was a few kilometers away from Nashik. So I used to go on motorcycle with my drafting board there, used to draft on site, and then there was a wonderful mistri, carpenter, who was also kind of my guru. So there are many gurus came across in my life. That Shirke Mistri was the first one, and we learned so many things from even everybody. Like, so that was my first beginning, and this is the result of that. So you can see the wonderful woodwork, and then we can maintain the character of the building. In Marathi, it is said that Keल्याने देशाटन पंडित मैत्री सभेत संचार मनुजा ज्ञान येत असे फार. So it's a traveling, surrounding ourselves with talented people and listening to the knowledgeable discourses enriches us. So this is how I got enriched with so many people again. He is one of the most famous poet and writer in Marathi literature. He got a Jnanapith Award also, Mr. Shirwadkar. I call him the Kusumagraj. And in the backside, you see Mr. Arvind Inamdar, who is DG of Maharashtra Police, retired DG. Then we have Ajay Pohankar, the musician. You must be knowing all that. And all these people are personalities. Shivaji Tupe, who was a very great landscape artist. So that was our golden year. And through that acquaintance, after the death of Kusumagraj Shirwadkar, the committee decided to have their memorial. And okay. Is it okay? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the concept of memorial came up after the death of Kusumagraj, who was again a poet and from Nashik, Jnanapith Award winner. And then it was decided to hold a competition at national level, but then the committees thought that the architects who were knowing Kusumagraj, they should be called, and so that it will be more intimate. And I was one of them. 3 of them were invited, and we presented a sketch to committee. Fortunately, Minas was also part of this process, and so our design was selected, and we worked as a team, all of 3. So there was competition was there, but it was not in terms of typical competition. So it was a holistic competition. and this is the result. So we use the local stone here for the pathways, and that depicts the traditional old pathways of Nasik. We represented, the poet was fond of this Kadamba tree. So uh, we planted Kadamba tree at the entrance. He was very sober and very, not, I mean, very generous in his nature. So, but he was not kind of loud personality. So we had his uh, memorial in a very simple and very decent way. So this was the entrance pavilion we designed for it, which is at a lower level. These are the Kadamba tree which he used to like, and then the entrance pavilion also depict the Dak bungalow which he used to like. So that was a kind of representative things. Then we decided to have earth shelter structure, so that this place which was given by corporation, this was a basically open space of the colony, a large open space, and then the reservation was shifted to this place for this purpose. But then we thought that we should not deprive these people from their open space. So the whole structure is earth shelter, and the meandering pathway going through both the side, and then the roof is a garden. So various activities are placed on the top of it, children's play, and the street which was meandering, and both the side there are many activities happening, like their uh, depiction of halls, training, music training center, then library, then art gallery, then some small meeting rooms, and one large kind of meeting room holding 200 capacity. So this is how the and poet also never wanted to have a statue or something like that, but it should be a kind of public, useful building for the public. So this is how the building started, and we gave all the disable free, I mean barrier free accesses to every places, and turbo ventilators to give the ventilation. So natural ventilation. So this was the Jivan Darshan reflecting the personality of poet. This is on the top where the existing trees were retained. I mean, we hardly cut any tree in this place. So the whole place is maintained. So now the rooftop is used by the senior citizens, young children for the various activities of the day, throughout the day. This street is not only a street for the connecting areas, but this acts as a good public space. There are a lot of exhibition happening, and various activities taking place in this place. Even Mr. Doshi visited this place, and he was quite happy to see the overall place. So in the company of some inspiring personalities, this is everybody knows this Charles Fourier visited Nasik, so we took him around places, and it was a wonderful time we had with him, rediscovering the streets of old Nasik. Mr. Balkrishna Doshi is also part of our Nasik team. We call him a Mama because one of our architect colleague was a nephew of Mr. Doshi, and he used to come regularly to Nasik. So we got good acquaintance with him, and we all call him a Mama also. Christopher also visited Nasik to our place, and we had a wonderful time with these people. This is my friend Yoshio Kato. We exchange our books in Taiwan. He's from Japan, but he is professor at Taiwan. So this is William Lim from Singapore. So we had a good time with him. We had common tours and some conferences together. He is also one of very respected personality, Mr. Late Ram Shewalkar, who is a literary scholar, very good speaker in Marathi, and absolutely brilliant person. So I was fortunate to have his blessings. So this is another project, residential architecture, farmhouse at Mehravani. Most of your seniors must have seen this place, creating a microzone within the abundance of barren land. So it was absolutely barren land earlier. You can see the Google image. So although it is abutting to the small minor irrigation tank, but in summers it gets dried. And this whole area was quite arid. And then we planted almost 4,000 trees in this barren land. And on the left hand side, you can see the image in the rainy season, and this is another image in the other way. So now these trees started growing. We constructed a small farmhouse there, and this is the situation now. So all the trees have grown up in a good manner, and it's a kind of small forest. So there are a variety of trees, and this is a September 19. Now the trees have grown. So for this, the idea concept started with the arches, which I had got it from one of my friend, and who was a sawmill owner, and he wanted to sell these arches, but he was not getting any proper buyer for this. And then I was doing their works for urban land sealing, and that time we were doing a lot of work from them. So when I visited this, I saw these places. He wanted to cut them in a smaller pieces of wood. And I said, don't cut it, give it to me. And so it was a kind of barter system we had that time. And I took these arches and retained them in one of our open plot where we constructed a shade, and every year we used to maintain these wood by spreading powders and anti-termite places. Then we started exploring how to go about this planning of this place. So we started exposing the arches in one of the options. One of the option was deconstructivism kind of thing, and then we used some columns here. And then ultimately boiled down to the very simple solution, which is the simple grid, and this was the finalized plan. So there are basically two pavilions, and Nasik climate allows to have this kind of planning liberties. So it was kind of a closed court with there are multiple courts, and in the central court and then two side pavilion. So the basic concept here was reduce, recycle, and reuse. So the material that was used was absolutely from this place, the stone that we did out, because this place was only having stone. There was not even a soil layer on top of it. There was not even a bush used to grow, but whatever used to grow, either it used to graze or people used to cut. So this is how the random rubble masonry, very simple, cost effective. So that is how it started. And the detailing of the stonework. This is the only window which we had from inside, where you can use as a table and put your legs inside. This is the courtyard, and then the whole roof water is harvested. In this land, not a single drop of rain goes out of this place. Neither a single leaves go out of it. Everything is recycled and reutilized. So this is how the space looks like. And there are basically layering of spaces, and it was wonderful to see the places. The arches add character to it, but when architect Mohe visited this place, he said arches are just addition. Otherwise also, even had there been only a columns, it would have been given the similar kind of effect, layering of places. So you can see different codes through this. Again, the washrooms, they have codes, and then the tiles that we have used also terracotta tiles, which is quite sustainable, and earthy tiles. This is how you can see the landscape outside. You can enjoy rain. This has a photovoltaic cells, solar power panels, so which generates electricity to have the filtration system and water irrigation, this misting system, and plus lifting water for the overhead tank. So this misting helps to reduce the temperature by 3-4 degrees in summers, and it's quite pleasant without any AC or something like that. This is the swimming pool which we added later on. The 4 columns which were left out, we created a pavilion out of it, and around that, after a few years, we constructed a swimming pool, which is passion for all our family members. And then this place is not only just a place we work here, we call it a weekend office also. My wife call it a farmhouse, and then there are so many things, discussions, lectures, demonstrations happening, and that's, I think, the real purpose of this place, and serves the real purpose of this place. So till recent time we have different. Recently, Abhin Chaudhary visited this place, and we had a good time with discussion. There are some dramas happening there, monologues, dramas. So this place is not only a place where there are so many places. And then the plantation, more than 4,000 trees at this Mairani farm, which was once arid. And about we have also planted more than 10,000 trees in other projects led to Vasundhara Puraskar. So this is the honor that was given to me. But I was happy to share this with our Jagan and Vilas, who took a lot of efforts in growing these plants, right from the excavation to growing them in a regular tree. So I was very happy to share it with them. So education is a lifelong journey whose destination expand as you travel. And right from the starting my practice, I travel a lot with my friend. Fortunately, the architects in Nashik were quite helpful, and they could accommodate a junior person like me very well. And so we had a good time together, enjoying travel and architecture also. So that was, and this is really a learning process we had. Then onward, we had good discussion with so many people at Architect Doshi's office, in Snehal Shah's office. So we used to ask many questions, understand what is the philosophy, and that is how the process of getting enriched in terms of architectural education is what's happening. This was first foreign tour, and we were 7 friends. We on backpack manner we traveled in Europe, and that was also a wonderful journey we had. And every day we used to travel, walk a lot and travel various places, discuss at night, and great learning process. So these are all processes that enriched again my personality. So traveling in Japan, traveling in Europe. So this is how we also traveled to Egypt, and some funny things also. It's not only architecture or typical travel, but we make fun of it. Then traveling in Switzerland with a wonderful landscape, Alps, seeing the Alps. But that is the one part of it. But our architectural viewpoint cannot be taken away from this journey. Everywhere we see architecture, and this is Paul Klee Center by. And then these are the Herzog de Morong at Basel's Bitra Museum. So this is the latest building they have added to their place. And these kind of exposures gives you a different kind of inspirations and technology oriented. So this was one of the institute that we did for MET, League of Colleges, Bilbao Knowledge City. And here we decided to have the library structure with and entrance to the building at the library at the entrance to the entrance of the building, and that library structure should be a kind of engineering excellence, so that this should you should create interest in the students. Engineering excellence will guide them, will lead them to creative abilities of them. So rather than having typical canopies, we thought it should be a long span structure with the excellence. And Dhananjay Dhake designed and built this structure. The basic concept we wanted to have a long span structure here, and this is how the structure came out. So here we used a lot of shading devices in the building. So these are the louvers. This is a library from inside. This is amphitheater and surrounded by.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, can you speak louder? Minaj ma'am has been asking.
Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
pull my laptop close to me.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
okay now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So this is a kind of amphitheater which sets up in the middle of the whole campus building. This is connected by a circular passage which connects from the top and also from the bottom. Covered. It acts as a covered passage to the bottom. And so these are adjustable sun control louvers, serves as an aesthetic element also. And this is some glimpses of amphitheater. And then every building has different codes, and we have treated them differently in landscape. So although the plan is typical, but then there are treatments are different. So that gives a treatment and scale is different. So that gives the different kind of effect to the building. So this has all these state-of-art communication system. This is the restaurant. I mean, canteen, and above that there is a gym, and then over that there are guest rooms for the campus. So this is again a different kind of PT slabs and that kind of structure, so that students will get to know different variety of structures also. That was also. So we experimented with various kind of structures here, type of construction techniques here. This is from the play area above this canteen. So nightfall is not a curtain. The building lights up in the celebration. So this is how it looks at night. And then the further another campus we did is energy efficient campus planning with this is Sandeep Foundation, and this was again on the hilltop. It was again a barren place, no soil layer on that. So the following the contour and the location advantages of the place, the plan got evolved, and the overall plan was in each because there was height restriction. So the structures, the footprint increases, and then so we had various departments in the circular manner connected with the covered passage also from the exterior double height passage. And this is how it looks. So you have an amphitheater in the center, and then all the activity, all the courses, individual buildings are happening around like this. We use a lot of local stone here, and actually this is from site only. So this is the main entrance, and we envelop this building with this cement silica fiberboard sheet, that is Shira. And then the reason was to like every time they take a lot of decision to for the programming the building, and then they want design and building within 6 months or with very less time. So what we decided to have this envelope to be done later on. Meanwhile, we just went on constructing the RCC structure. So without chajja and lintel. So and later on we added this envelopes to protect it from sun and rain. So that saved a lot of time in the whole process. So all the services are also hidden behind, and then it also quite comfortable as far as the climate is concerned. Taking the advantage of the contours, the canteen is situated at the lower contour, and the rooftop is used as a landscape element. And again, the ventilators, turbo ventilators, acts as a sculptural element also. This is the overall view of amphitheater and the double height passage. You can see so that gives the institutional character to the whole institute, and which connects and which people are proud to be associated with. So these are the typical images of shading devices. The amphitheater. Then the another building that was in the same category was Knowledge House under the Green Building strategies. So this is a Vaishyamyu library. So it's Vaishyamyu is a open university, Maharashtra Open, Yashwantrao Chavan Maharashtra Open University, and they wanted to have their own library. So we thought we'll make the roof light and north light glazing should be taken, and also from the apex of it we'll have the turbo ventilator, so all the hot air accumulated at the top is exhausted. And fortunately, the result is quite satisfactory. The temperature inside is quite comfortable in summers also. And taking the advantage of the contours, this was the amphitheater we constructed in that place. This is where you can see the expanse of landscape, and again there were contours inside, so those contours are seen from that contours. You see the landscape outside, so all the areas inside are quite connected with the nature outside. Then I never thought a book will be published on my works, but thanks to my students and now colleagues Ritu and Minaz, and thanks to their efforts, Nesting in Nature was published. So this was a book, and I total credit give to these two ladies, Ritu and Minaz, because of their lot of efforts and persuasion. I could complete this. Mr. Christopher Benenzer inaugurated this book, launched this book at Pune also. And then I got more surprise. I was honored to receive the Rotary Club Nasik Bhushan Puraskar. The award felt more special because it was presented by ex-DGP of Maharashtra, Mr. Arvind Inamdar, who is my very close friend and guide, philosopher, and my inspiration, the waterman of India, Mr. Rajendra Singh. So this was the award, and these are the two great people. Because of their presence, I think the award got elevated. For the holistic growth, I think it is essential to create a balance between work and hobbies. So it's not the only work, but your other passions are also important. So I'm a avid trekker. I used to like. I'm still liking the trekking part of it, and going in nature is also quite very pleasant situation for me, and I always look for it. So these are the Kanchenjunga base camp trekkings during the trekking of Kanchenjunga, and when we did many treks in Himalayas, and not only Himalayas but in Sahyadri also, because Sahyadri is also equally important in terms of trekking, and it has a wonderful kind of landscape. So wandering in nature is one of the passions. This is a recent trek to Leh Ladakh in the Rumbak Valley in winter. Actually, we wanted to do the Chadar trek, but it was closed because of some accident over there. So we did this different trek, but it was also a wonderful experience. Then I did this Kailas Mansarovar trek, Yatra they call it. This is through Government of India. It is on foot actually, so it's a different experience altogether. I was I wanted to experience why the importance is given to this yatra since so many ages, and so I joined this, and then the journey started. There was option to have your own horse and sit on it and then go to the further journey, but then I took it as a kind of insurance only to with me. But then I travel on my foot the whole journey. I travel on foot, and then I think the God is real in nature, where and in the whole process you experience the variety of nature. So you as you uh, go up, the vegetation start. I mean, at lower level you have a nice flowering and trees, foliage of trees, and then as you go up, you have as the vegetation goes on reducing because of the low oxygen level. So this is how the trek was, and you can see the journey pathway. That's quite interesting, and then you see the Om Parvat where the formation is like Om. That was also interesting. And then you enter into Tibet and see the different landscape altogether. I think while going around this was the family of our, porters, and then it was very wonderful to see their lifestyle, how they cook, how they enjoy. I mean, this was also interesting, viewpoint to look at these places and people around. And then this Pradakshina also to Mansarovar was also a great experience. It was more than 50 kilometers walk per day, and in the nature and in the company of this beautiful lake. I think this all these things gives you really good exposure. This is at Mount Kailash, you can see from this. So you have this kind of some spiritual sitting, and then the next. So you have first the Manasarovar Pradakshina, and then you go to the Kailash. So they're at different places. And then first day when we went to travel the part of our Pradakshina circumambulatory path. So after the first day stay in the morning, we got up in the morning, early morning, because we wanted to leave early. You can see that our specs are reflecting with flash because it was total dark. But because of the moonlight, you can see the Kailash in very like a better ball, and you can see this in detail. And when sun started coming up, rising up, so the golden, it started becoming golden, and this was a hardly a few minutes view, but then we were fortunate to have this as a to see the golden Kailash. So I think this is where the God remains. There you realize the power of nature and greatness of nature. And then, so this is how we completed this trek, and it was a different experience altogether. I think anywhere you go in nature, I think this divine experience you get. And now into wild, because wildlife, seeing wildlife is also my passion, one of the passion. This is from the Corbett and some other places in India. Tiger is one of our great asset. I like birds also. This is real big blue magpie. This is one of the rare birds, collared falconet, smallest bird of prey in falconet family. And this is one of the rare view which we could see. This is the peacock, and we could see the mating of peacock, which is very rare. And I would like to share this with you also. I think there is a buffering happening. So our driver was saying and guide was saying that this during his last 15 years of visit to Corbett, he could not see this kind of view. Then you see such a beautiful landscapes with elephants and rising sun with giving a golden kind of effect. These are again a famous hornbills which are on the verge of extinction. And I also traveled outside India, also in Africa. Then you see a wonderful this grey crown cranes, African cranes, and wonderful landscape with rainbows and typical. So these are the some views. These are also some of the rare pictures we could get. I could get. This is the demarcation of territory. The cheetah is demarcating the territory by urinating on the tree. Then we saw him just taking a stance and very carefully watching the prey, and we could see this kill, and that was a altogether different experience. And he was eating very fast because these hyenas were there. Because this is a typical scenario in jungle that whatever the kill are there, their hyena come in a group and then they drive you out. So he was eating voraciously, and we were asking our guide why he is eating so voraciously, and he was so conscious about it. And then the reason we could understand because of these hyenas. Then in this wonderful landscape, you see the elephants and the typical trees over there. This was our car, where we traveled with this car. Then this is a nursery, which was actually Papaya Nursery project is making best use of what we are already blessed with. So this was a project where it was a British armory with water tanks supported on 8 vaulted walls. This was the part of this Papaya Nursery. So his client wanted, this was the situation when we took it. So the owner wanted to build his office and recreational space. He was not keen on demolishing this, and I was also demolishing this place and build a contemporary building or new building on this place. So what we thought is that we will do modification to this and put to use this. So this was the basic. The white one is the the basic section of walls were like this, and there were tanks on the top. And then the yellow one is we added structure to it. So this is the main entrance. This is how we converted the walls into a office-based. You can see the plaster is also the old plaster. We're not added to it. And this is how it looks. The outdoor verandas, because in Nasik climate, you can spend a lot of time outside than inside the house, and then the climate is quite comfortable here. So it gives a kind of nice, and since it is a nursery, you have these lawns and nice landscaping. And then this keeps on changing, so that is also great fun. So this is at the top. So we converted all these tanks into swimming pool and small water body, and then at two places we have these bedrooms and multi-purpose hall. So this is how it got converted into our place. It is really owner is proud of. So this is the conversion. This is how it looks now. So we retained these ladders, pegs to go up as a memory. As I evolved, my passions also evolved. Trekking was my first passion when it comes to health. In the past few years, I have been enjoying running. I did I decided to participate into Mumbai Marathon, and then I could do the half marathon complete, and it, and then we did many marathons later on. And now the latest passion is cycling. Uh, I did cycling in Taiwan. So across Taiwan, I cycled with my friend, who was actually inspiration to me and guide to me. He was uh, he was actually a avid cyclist, and he traveled 24,000 kilometers in 32 countries, and in 2 years of time, solo cycling. So we had his presentation at Nasik. I organized his presentation, and then I said, "Let us go somewhere." So he said, "Let us go to Taiwan." And without asking anybody, we booked tickets, and then because that is how, and tickets were non-refundable for the flight. So then we started planning the detailed planning. But the more uh, we have not really planned, because it was all open-ended kind of cycling tour. And again, our architectural tentacles are always on. So we visited this 101 building, which I visited a few years back when I went to present for the presentation in Taiwan to my friends Yoshio Kato, whose picture I showed it in the beginning. So this is the some of the. Can you see the video good?
Yes, sir.
So Yogesh was recording this video for me. And then we had a wonderful time in the whole Taiwan. He was the main motivation behind this too. And then we had different climates also, on uphills, headwinds, and but then if you if you are determined, you can do anything. This is what I feel. Again, exploring cities. So last few days, Yogesh did one thing with me. He said, "I will not come with you. You explore on your own." And I wanted to. This my friend was there in Taichung, so he is teaching in one of the universities over there, and he invited me to present there. So I went exploring city on my own. I went to his college on cycle itself, and so there was this nice small gathering, and I presented my work over there. And then he suggested me to go through some interesting structures, and so this is one of them, and you can see my cycle also here. So as a passionate architect, we should always see what is happening around. So this was my marathon kind of running. This was in Bombay, near Haji Ali, and then I could finish it. Then we had a lot of country running, countryside running, uphill running, hill marathons. So that we did, and this is how we can enjoy with your friends. But all this was possible because of my family and friend. And at the end, I would like to say that I have no special talents, but I am passionately curious. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This was so inspirational. So, if you don't mind, should I ask some questions?
Yes.
All right.
Just a moment.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Mohammed Shuja is asking, so in a city like Mumbai, where land prices are skyrocketing and green spaces aren't considered to be much valued, how do you think your idea of to cooperate trainings in the lap of nature can be implemented, just like you did in Mahindra Development Center?
Yes. I think you need to come out of cities then. Go to the small places. And now you can work remotely from anywhere to anywhere. That is what I feel. But then you can also try to incorporate landscape into your, I mean, since from the inception of design, you should see that how landscape can be incorporated in your design process. So most of the times I always see that how the landscape is incorporated in the whole plan, and then I mean it's simultaneously generated that plan and landscape go hand in hand. Like interior also, like when you plan, you should also be aware of what kind of interior spaces they're exploring and how the interior will happen. So it's a holistic approach for the design.
I would like Isa sir to talk a few words.
Sure, sir. Hello. Hi, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you on behalf of Digital College of Architecture, Student Council, and everyone. This was a very fascinating lecture, very informative, and we really like what you have experienced. Talking about some personal experience regarding me, once I visited to you in Nasik with Vanessa. Hope you remember me.
Yes.
So we were like exploring Nasik city. We were quite tired, and then we were told by Minaz ma'am to visit you, and we were very scared. Ki how should we directly barge in? We have not informed you before. And Minaz ma'am was telling me, "You just go. He will talk to you." And I was really very scared. Ki we cannot go like this. But then we took that leap of faith. We visited architect Sanjay sir, and then we really found he is so humble. He actually invited us. He had a food with us. He talked every small thing, whatever we explored in the city, whatever we sketched in the city, and I was like really, I was like really like shocked कि how someone so busy can actually have so much time to explore or to read out people. And he was talking so much about the Nasik city, showing his work, showing his philosophy, showing his office around. We were like so amazed by his humble human being. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking this lecture. I hope we stay in touch. I will be handing over to Minaz ma'am to share few thoughts regarding this and philosophy of her. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Usa, for your kind words.
Thank you, sir. Even our principal is saying thank you. She cannot join due to video or audio problem, but in chat she's continuously chatting and she's telling us, "Ki please say thank you to sir from Bharat ma'am."
Yes.
Minaz sir, please say.
Yes, I can go on and on talking and writing about him because every building that I have visited or been a part of has been extremely inspiring. I mean, you have to go there, no words can describe it. You have to
Correct.
go there to somewhere, experience it. And I think the farmhouse is one building which has always stayed with me, because of its very, very simple design and the way it just connects and dissolves into nature. And so there are some comments. Shuja says that great, thank you, sir. Ajay Sharma, our faculty member, says thank you so much for such an inspiring talk. It was a pleasure to see an experience of a journey as a kid, architecture student, as to now. What is the advice that you would like to give to fresh graduates towards practicing architecture?
You should be passionate about your profession. So you should be passionately curious. Correct?
I think the only thing I would add on to that is, what has always inspired others is the fact that, he came to Bombay and he had that taste of, living in a big city. But he still chose to go back to his hometown in the 80s. I know that, when I was studying there in the 90s, architecture was not a recognized kind of a, profession, but still he chose to go back and he chose to make a difference to his hometown. And I can, now looking back after whatever 40 years, we can see that how much the city has changed, because of his efforts and the efforts of all the people who have, trained under him or seen his works and got inspired. So it's like a ripple effect which has impacted the entire city. And I think that I have said this to many students many times, that go back to your own cities, towns, villages, and make a difference there. That's when our country will really change and flourish. I think there's
Yes,
one more
I agree.
question by Trinisha. Thank you so much, sir. I have a question. How often do you reject projects?
Depends. I mean, if the wavelength is not matching with the client, then I reject project. But I do even a small project if there is a good wavelength with the client. So scale is not important, but the wavelength with the client is important. So I reject projects many times, like not an issue. But the scale is not the criteria for that.
Farat ma'am has said, sir, you are very humble. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. And Trinisha has another question. How often do you come across projects that do not agree with you? I think you answered that. Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to just end by sharing one of the poems that has been inspired by his farmhouse, which was published a few years back on Architecture Live. So if Mohammed can share that slide,
Yes, ma'am.
we
sure.
can read it out and share it with the students and all the guests here.
Can you guys see the screen? Is the screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Not yet.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay, so ma'am, I'll be scrolling down.
So many of our students have visited this place, and we've spent many hours actually just experiencing the place. And I remember a point where one of our students actually broke down and started sobbing. He was so overwhelmed by the vibes that were present here. So it has had a different impact on different people. So I'll just read out something which I've written, because I've often imagined this place to be like a breathing, living entity. And sometimes on a rainy day like today, you can hear it say, I am earth, I am stone, with a life of my own. I am gravel, I am clay, a sunbeam here to play. I am water, I am air, a branch of champa bear. I am light, I am shade, shining dew on a grass blade. I am timber, I am steel. I am raindrops forming a wheel. I am walls of sloping stone, a roof that feels like home. I am space, I am void, a lotus overjoyed. I am a pool of water still, a courtyard tranquil. I am fragrance, I am touch, my warmth, a gentle nudge. I am sight, I am sounds. I am one with my surrounds. I am grass, I am trees. I am the humming of the bees. I am a silence that can be heard amidst the chirping of a bird. I exist, and yet I blend. No beginning or no end. I am constant, and yet I have changed. I am nature rearranged. I am the past, and yet I am now. Meet me and find out how.
Wonderful.
So I think it's time, we take another trip down to Nasik as soon as we can, and really experience the space, and maybe have an interaction with sir over there.
Yeah. You are
So
most
thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Thank
Most
you so
welcome.
much, Minaz ma'am, for the amazing poem. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you. Have a safe stay.
Thank you,
Pandemic.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Incidentally, it is also Bibi Doshi sir's birthday today,
Yeah, birthday today.
and it is
Yes.
the foundation day of our college. And then you're here, so there are too many, synchro destinies happening. Very happy with that.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.